if there is some complaint from the students, and if that is being forwarded to the mess secretary, before that they'll give some incentives to these MMC members, and they'll make sure that the complaint doesn't go to the mess secretary. Do you think these incentives will definitely do their work? Will this improve the dedication of an MMC member towards the mess?
So the kind of myths happening that you told about, it is already there to some extent.
Yeah.
What I am planning is that I have seen during the 2 years that every year we start with a team of 60 to 70 people, and by the end of the year there are only 10-12 active members in the team. The reason is that people start losing interest working as an MMC member. So what I am planning is that for every 3 inspections done in a week, the person who is an MMC member, he will have to do 3 inspections properly, post snapshots into the MMC group. After verifying with the mess secretary that the inspection was properly done and it was all standard, all bases were covered, I as a mess secretary will issue a card to the MMC member so that he can take a free extra. So this will not be done let's say if she is paying and I just go there and I show some coupon and he gives me. So this will actually create a lot of trouble. I did some research and there are a few apps where we can give them like virtual money kind of thing, and through this the MMC member will actually feel like continuing in the MMC, working with the team, so that the overall inspection process in the mess is well done, well taken care of.
The caterers will know what they'll do. You have told that for every 3 inspections you'll give 1 incentive, right? That's right? Yeah. So caterers will, what they'll do, they'll give 1 incentive for every for every inspection. What you'll do?
So these sort of things are already happening.
Yeah.
What my plan is, or what my motivation behind implementing this scheme is that the actual MMC members who really want to continue with MMC, they do their work properly and they should get some sort of benefit of joining an MMC.
Because that benefit they are already getting it if they are doing wrong inspection, right? Then what is the use of giving this incentive to them?
The use of giving this incentive is that because a lot of people are actually discontinuing MMC because of the lack of interest. So to regain their interest in this, I am planning to do this.
To regain their interest, if they really have interest or something like that, they'll go and do inspection.
Yes.
And they'll take these incentives for every inspection, not for 3 inspections, right? So
actually the members who want to do it on a voluntary basis, in my experience, they never try to take unfair advantage of these things. There are CCTV cameras near the extra counters. There are CCTV cameras in the mess kitchen itself. So if at all we find somebody doing this, it can be complained by the caterer, by the MMC member, or even by a general student. So if at all we face such problem, you can directly complain that the mess secretary Kaushal is doing such and such, and I will be facing the penalties of that.
So, this incentive you're talking about, where you'll bring the money for that?
So, if you do the calculations, let's say we, on an average, we do 3 inspections every day. 30 days we have 90 inspections. For every 3 inspection, I'm giving 1 free extra. So it comes to about 30 extras which I'm paying them off. Average price of an extra you take to be rupees 40, about rupees 40, so it's just about 1200 rupees. So, as we see that the Gymkhana Council has many councils like Sci-Tech Councils, the Cultural Council, and the Mess Council is also one of them. The Gymkhana actually allocates proper budgeting and fund to every council for their needs. So, if this plan is actually helping the Mess Council to do better mess operations and to do better mess inspections, I will pitch the Gymkhana for budgets, and 1200 per month is not a big deal for Gymkhana to allocate to us.
Getting budget from Gymkhana budget is very difficult thing.
Yes, it is difficult, but if at all it is improving the overall mess experience, I think 1200 per month is not at all a really big deal.
See, we already have once you erase from the files, right? You can use them instead of using Gymkhana.
Yes, there are multiple ways to get funds from. This is one way. The fines are the other way, and there are a couple of
No,
other
this
ways
is,
as well.
I suggest you this is the better way, so you make sure you do this.
I'll think about it, but my main motivation is that because people leave MMC midway during their tenure, so I want to regain their interest so that they can work for the betterment of the mess experience.
Okay, fine. And you also mentioned in your agenda that you'll introduce a chicken day.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you elaborate on that?
So currently we have egg curries both on Wednesdays and Fridays. So a lot of people are actually complaining and they are demanding chicken on at least one of those days. So I went through the tender and there was one thing which was written as basic menu template. So in the basic menu template it is written that only egg can be served. However, since it is a basic menu template, it is also written that upon consultation with MMC, other items can be added. So how I will do budgeting for it is that for every item in mess that we use, it could be spices, it could be butter, it could be anything. We have brand recommendations for everything. So what I will do is I will negotiate with the caterer to change the brands which are described in the mess tender so that we don't compromise on the quality. So by doing this, we can save at least 6 rupees per day. And saving 6 rupees per day, accumulating the sum over a week, it comes to about 42 rupees. And through this 42 rupees, we can actually introduce chicken on Wednesdays at least.
So
Furthermore,
compromise on the brand.
no, I am not compromise on the brand. I will negotiate with the brands which are already in the mess standard, which fulfill all the quality and hygiene standards. Furthermore, in our IIT, we do not have any subsidies for messes. Which is there in institutes like IIT Bombay, IIT Madras,
Whom do you negotiate?
IIT Hyderabad.
With whom will you negotiate?
So we will negotiate about what?
About these brands.
So we can negotiate this with caterers so that they procure their items from brands where they can save at least.
No, you are telling that you'll at the end of the day you'll take those brands which are less cost than these
But
things.
since they are already in the mess tender, which and the brands do satisfy all the quality and hygiene
How
standards.
can you tell that you are saving 6 rupees on each brand using a different
No,
brand?
not on each brand, like on an overall basis.
Overall basis, yeah, overall basis.
130 rupees that we pay currently on an everyday basis, that is not actually strictly for one day. That is averaged over the whole week.
Yeah, that's okay.
So that is where we can save a lot of money in. Furthermore, our institute does not have subsidies, which is already there in institutes like IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, IIM Dhanbad. So we can
That is
our
all okay.
director sir to get.
We are not giving clarity about that. Brands, what you'll change? You'll change brands.
No, see, the thing is that for let's say for butter they have brands like Amul, Heritage, and some other brands.
Yeah.
So overall there are a lot of items like oils, spices, butters, flours, and all. So what I will do, I will negotiate with the caterer so that they can save 6 rupees per day, and accumulate that sum over an entire
How
week.
6 rupees per day? You just elaborate this. Why will they get 6 rupees out of nowhere and they'll discount?
Yes.
Yeah,
So how they will do is they will change their brands which are already in the tender but which are less costlier than what they are.
Yeah, exactly. That is what I was asking. You'll at the end of the day you'll choose the brands which are less costlier and you'll compromise on the health. You are saying
Not on the health, because that is already in the tender. That is already in the tender.
All the brands which are in the tender, after a thorough research, they are included. So you cannot disturb them. You cannot compromise on brands.
We will choose from brands which are already there in the tender and which are cheaper than the other ones which they are currently using.
How you will get 6 rupees? You have done any research behind this? You will get 6 rupees, 7 rupees.
Yes.
Just tell me example. Just give an example.
So let's say Amul butter it costs rupees 52 and Heritage let's say it costs 50 rupees. So we can actually save 2 rupees from that, and likewise there could be other items where we can actually save the sum from there, and we can inculcate all of that to introduce chicken items, because this is a popular
2 rupees, that butter, 2 rupees, that isn't like that. It is 130 is for every student. For every student you will not take this 250 grams of butter for every day, right?
No, see,
Every
as
student
I
will not
already
eat
mentioned,
butter.
as I already mentioned, 120 rupees is an average quantity. So it is not about an individual
See,
student.
that is not at all possible. I have been mess secretary, right? You have worked under me also. I have tried to include all those other non-veg items also, but it wasn't possible at all. Since the 130 currently which is being run, that is not at all feasible for the caterers. But during the
Actually, that is feasible. I tell
with
you
the
how.
help of the tendering process, we have got to that price rate 130. Right? It is not possible. So dear, don't give false hopes to the
No,
students.
it is not at all false. We can negotiate upon it. We can negotiate upon
Bro,
it.
it
And
is
we can
taking
get
time. I have
subsidies
to
to our
others
institute.
as well. See. Abhay, so I'll ask you Jeshna now. So you have told that you'll bring bakery to the to campus. There is already a bakery running, you know.
Okay, that bakery is quite substandard. Firstly, I would like to tell you my inspiration behind it. So when Theodoma came here for 4 days, and I saw that the entire IIT family had such a wholesome response toward it. People were so happy to have their evenings and afternoons experiencing that that sweet cuisine. So I thought that why not? We actually needed that, but it was never catered.
Yeah, that is fine. How you do that? See, getting another bakery completely is just like giving a false hope. Just you make sure that you are improving the existing bakery to include all the other items which are not present as of now.
Okay, I'll tell you, we do have a bakery, but students still go to KS Bakers, to Karachi Bakers to get cakes for their friends because the quality is really bad, the taste is really, really bad.
Then you can improve the quality of the existing bakery, right?
I don't think so. It's a possibility because baking is an art, and it's not a recognized brand actually. So people want to actually students go around 11 p.m., 10 p.m., even 12 p.m. late at night to get cakes for their friends, to have that cultivation of community love among each other. But I find that it was causing a lot of inconvenience to them. And these bakeries that we right now have very limited number of cakes, and they do not taste that great as well.
Okay, I understood, but as you know, the tendering process is a very complex thing. So it's better to continue the existing bakery by introducing the other items which are not there right now, and improve them, work on them. But it's, tendering process is a very complex. Okay, it's better you work on the current bakery.
I'll work upon it.
Yeah. And also you have mentioned you'll give beverages. Just elaborate on that.
Beverages where?
In your agenda?
Can you completely
Just
tell
a
me?
minute.
Beverages as in addition to the menus, the mess menu you are talking about? Because
Just a minute. Yeah, in addition to the current menu.
yeah, so we don't have milk. Like cold milk is not available right now, and in the evening, people come from labs, from their classes. It's too hot at that time, around 5 to 6, that people demand to have very, something which is cold. Right now, we just have traditional.
Okay, that's fine. The reason behind this is very good, but how will you do that? How is it?
Okay, I'll tell you, without shaking the current budget, we have to remove one or the other item. Until and unless we, substitute one of the items that we currently have, we will not be able to add something else. So we currently have, I think, 2 varieties of teas, and so that can be converted into one. So we save milk over there, and that milk can be converted into a badam milk, cold badam milk beverage.
I really hope to work on that and make it possible. That's a very good initiative. And yeah, that's it from my now. Another question to you, Kaushal. You have mentioned that you'll choose one of the four halls in the four halls right now, and you'll run a per paper day meal thing. Just explain what we'll do.
So currently there is a lot of demand from the student side, specifically from the PG and PhD people, to implement a paper meal trial run at least. If not, we go for a full-fledged. The problem that we currently have is that when students have already paid fees to the institute, and to manage the economics and to convert the existing system into paper meal is very difficult. What I am planning is, we will be having 3 months of long summer holidays, and where the student strength in the campus will be significantly reduced, and there will be student footfall from outside the campus. And other thing is that during these 3 months, one of the mess will be completely shut off. So other thing is the upper hall in both of the messes right now, it is very less utilized. So what we can do is we can use one of the upper dining hall from either of the messes, where we can actually implement a paper meal basis for students who are not from our campus, so that the economics do not shatter up. What we will gain from it, we will gain insights into the logistics, into the feasibility, and into the economics of it. If this can be done in a better way.
So this is for those students who are not from our campus.
So this is a paper meal trial basis. What we will do, we will gain insights.
This is for whom? This is for the students in our campus or from the outside?
It is for both of them. What I am saying is that there will be a good amount of footfall, and the students' strength from our campus will also be there. It will be reduced, but it will be there. So it will help us gain insights into the actual practical implications and implementation of this system.
If I'm not wrong, that meal costs around 200, I guess.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So,
Who will choose that?
So the thing is, currently how the mess benefits is that, let's say there are 1500 people registered in one mess, but on an everyday basis only about 1100 people come to the mess. So how the caterer gains their money is they are actually taking advantage of those 400 people which are not coming to the mess. But when we shift to a paper meal basis, the dynamics of the profits and losses for the caterers they completely change. The quality of the food will be much better, because when we have a paper meal system, the only way to get profit from the caterer side is to actually make better food, better quality, and better menu. So this is eventually a student benefit, because not a lot of us go to mess halls every day. What I am saying is that we will do a trial run, we will look into the logistics of it, we will take a student poll, how much of them they really want it, how many of them they don't really want it, and further we will have to figure out a lot of other things as well.
There's a suggestion from my side. You make sure you're write about those logistics, because if there is any shortage of food, the students will face a problem, right?
That's what I am
properly on that.
implement for 1 month in one of the halls when the students' strength is
Even
reduced.
for that 1 month, you just make sure
Definitely look into it.
So, my common question to every one of you, just one after the other you answer. How will you make your team work? This is a common question to all of you. Just answer one by one. How will you make your team work?
So the problems which I have faced in my tenure as an MMC member is that there is a lot of informality in the team structure that we have, due to which most of the work it happens on a voluntary basis. If I am willing to do, I go there. If I am not willing to do, I may choose not to go there. So this is one thing which I will be changing. I will be implementing a proper structure within the team where every person has clearly defined roles and responsibility. Second thing which I already mentioned is that I will be providing incentives in the form of free extras to our team members, so that they feel like staying back with the team, doing work for the betterment of the man. So these are my 2 points.
As we all know, our mess has 6 major domains, which includes hygiene, we have inspection team, we have milk inspection team, Then we have a mess grievance team, hygiene. Then we have two other names are there. I'm just forgetting right now. So we have 6 domains. Sorry, the domain is also there. So right now we don't have any heads for that. So the entire team is scattered. There is no one to lead them actually. So if we have all these heads on those 6 domains, each individual can actually take care of that particular group. For example, if it's a menu team of 5 people and we have a head over there, it will be easier to have access and monitor and appreciate and motivate our students to work.
I think it is already there.
But we don't have heads right now. We have divisions, but there are no heads currently. And currently we just have 23 or 24 members in MMC.
Regarding the working of MMC team, like as far as a consultant, it's completely up to the person, up to the mess secretary to decide what domains are in the MMC. And I would like to have simple domains who work on the physical and ground level, where to incentivize the students rather than bribing them, it's beneficial to actually revising the team regularly. There are always certain students who are actually interested to participate. They'll be enthusiastic. You don't need to convince some students who lost interest, because once if you understand that they lost their interest, they're lost. You can't drive them to work them artificially, right? The other thing with the proper menu revisions, there will always be students enthusiastic in a certain stage, in the first starting initial stages. So we would benefit with that small period with those enthusiastic students and keeping them and the experienced ones behind, and sagging the non-existent or non-working students. We can have a new revision regularly, around 3 months or whatever it is. Based on these regular revisions, there will be again new enthusiastic students coming to uplift the efficiency and functioning of the mess.
All of the 3 answers were good, but a suggestion from my side to all the 3 of you, because one of you will be the mess secretary tomorrow. My suggestion is that you always make sure that the team is balanced. The team, every team which you have, there should be people who are working, there should be people who are not working. And make sure you remove those people who are not working and make sure the team is being balanced. And also encourage your team members to do properly. Otherwise they will not do. Encouraging them and involving them in everything is a very good move. And yeah, that's it. That's it from my side. All the best to all 3 of you. And we'll pause on to the audience now.
Also, one question from my side to you. If you would be the mess secretary, give me the idea about your MMC. How could you able to create your MMC team? If you will be the mess secretary, how could you able to create your MMC team? Give me the idea.
So firstly, I will talk to all of the active members personally, whether they want to really continue in the team. After that, first thing that I will be doing is I will be
just sorry to interrupt. If the people is working from last 4 years in your MMC team, what will you do for that?
I will still ask them if they really want to continue or not in the new team.
If they want to continue, then
so we definitely need such people to have the balance and the experience of them to stabilize the MMC team. And further we will be implementing new things.
now guys, question for you. Only one question you will ask and only one follow.
So my question is for all 3 of you, but in particular Jeshna, because you mentioned like all the teams particularly. I hope you all know about like inspection teams and all, right? And me personally, I am somebody who believes that a person should have very good domain knowledge in what they're supposed to lead. So a very basic part of this is knowing how inspections are done. Can you, all 3 of you, Jeshna in particular, can you elaborate how the milk inspection is done and what are the particular values we need to look out for?
There is a lactometer and it checks the quality of the milk. And if it is between 26 to 28, it's a good quality. And currently we have around 24 to 26 for the lactometer, and it is approved so far. No, sorry. In particularly, we have around 28. So it's very close to 30, which is the maximum. And we do have good quality milk right now in house.
Any comments by the candidates here?
I'd actually like to add on that in the recent times the lactometer wasn't working in one of the what is called the caterer's side. So the reading is actually optimal around 27.
So the reading is generally accurate, but our math standard clearly states that if the reading is below or above the clearly defined ranges, there are strict fines which we need to implement. So I, as the math secretary, will be making sure that for every exceeding reading, I will be implementing the fine. Because the standard, I did the calculation based on the current standard. For every single incorrect reading, there is a fine of about 1200 rupees. So we do not want to miss on to any single rupees which the caterer is bluffing on us. So this is what I will be strictly implementing. Not just for inspection, for every possible problem in the math. Implementation of fines will be my major priority.
My question to all, till here. Yeah, we have seen several cases of improper cleaning of plates or dishes or something. Even till today, washing our 2000 plates is by manually, obviously makes a mistake. Is there any possibility to implement a dishwasher which we get in the market so that the cleaning is proper and hygiene?
There is a dishwasher and they also wash it manually before passing it on to the dishwasher.
Sorry to correct you, but today I have went to the mess and I have seen that the cleaning staff are simply using a hand to scrub like this and use a high pressure pipe. I have seen directly.
Yeah.
So
After that, they are passed on to the dishwasher. After that is done, they are passed on to the dishwasher.
So my question is for Abhay. How will you go about the gym subscription thing? Can you please explain elaborately from the proposal to the implementation everything?
I've actually said half of it. We're taking the opinion of students for the commonly provided items. Of course, they have eggs and chicken regularly, right? Based on their opinion, I'd actually like to talk. I already talked with the caterer because the more the consumption on extra items, the more the profits they get. So it is feasible from their side, and from our side, for the student side, they are also beneficial because they will be beneficial because the caterers already know how much count they'll actually get for that month. So the caterers will be profited, and for that reason, they'll actually avail some discounts for our side. We have actually confirmed with the caterers.
Okay. So my point is, why can't we get healthy food? We pay 130 rupees. Why can't we get healthy food with that money? You know how many eggs can we buy for 130 rupees?
So you plan on feeding on eggs for all of the 130 and leaving out rice and just...
My question is to three of you. What exactly means mess? What is mess? It is something we need to think about. It is MESS. So what exactly mess means? Anyone can answer here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's member of equal social status.
Yeah. It's correct. You been prepared for this? No. Okay. So my only thing is like the priority here. You three are contesting. The priority here is to just generate good quality of food. Okay. So you three are working for a cause. So what would you do to motivate the the caterers or the chef who are cooking for you? Because they are the prime source to provide you the best food. So rather than giving extras to your teammates and motivating them, what is the source of motivation to them?
So the source of motivation for the caterer is to strictly find them. If we do not find them, there is no way they are going to improve the food for us.
Yeah, that's...
I've I've been there, I've seen a lot of things. Howsoever we say to them,
You rightly said.
they laugh
You-
on our back.
Yeah.
Until and unless we try
You,
to
you, you
then
rightly
only-
said, the more you tax them, you'll get the worse food.
Every
So that
method,
thousand-
for
that
every
thousand-
method
that-
they do,
okay.
we must and must,
Yeah,
we must and
The-
must find them.
Yeah, fine. I agree with you. Now, why don't you give that, best step or something like that, some incentive to any of the good chefs? They give you best of the best food.
Yes, that is already happening from the caterer side to let you know. There are people the SKPL is already implementing that.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, they identify their best chefs. The managers also, they get the best managers award.
Yeah, rather than, my only advice is, rather than creating a corpus, create a good environment in the mess and create good quality of food. For that, you have to motivate.
Definitely.
Hello. Like, my question is not a question, it's a kind of suggestion or request for all three of them. See, you people are making many promises, but I have been seeing for the past 4 years or 5 years, none of the promises is implemented. Just to point out, like you have been saying about nutritionists. The same thing I have been hearing from 2020 town hall meeting. For 4 years, nothing has been implemented. Again, the paper mills, like since I am a PhD scholar, these things I have been requesting for 3 to 4 years. Again, nothing has been implemented. So, my request and suggestion is like, you people are giving many agendas, not you people, the previous secretary also is questioning. I am not pinpointing anyone like. See, I have been seeing the mess secretary for the past 4 years. The agendas you are giving is more than the political parties. As in the continuation of what previous speaker has said, the only suggestion is we all want the quality food. And as I am aware of, like though the mess secretary is elected, all the power is centralized in somewhere else. Like maybe best chairman or like whatever it is. We elect the best secretary, but power is centralized, but none of the students don't know about it. Okay, so my just request or suggestion is like you people should work towards it for the quality of food, what the previous speaker said, and anything is required from our side, then there should be communication between the students and you are the bridge between the institute and the students. But from the last 3 or 4 years, I am seeing there is no mail or something. Just people are elected, nothing is implemented. So at least if either of you is elected, you should be a bridge between the institution and the students. And whatever the agendas, which is like, as I said, it's more than the political party. I don't know whether it can be implemented or not. But yeah, this is because it's not a question. Yeah, this is what my thing is like. Please act towards it instead of just saying many promises. That is my thing. Thank you.
I'd like to add on to it actually to find an answer to your question regarding paper mill. I don't know how many previous mess secretaries actually included in their agenda. Okay, if they are included, yeah, okay. If you know for a fact that 4 years of mess secretaries worked on it and they know for a fact that it isn't feasible, you shouldn't include it.
I would like to add on. Firstly, I apologize and I feel deeply sad that you had this experience with the other mess secretaries. So far, if you see the history, all mess secretaries were from the bachelors. This time, someone from the master is taking an initiative, someone who is taking the charge, and I want to be that leader so that I bring back that trust, the trust that has been lost from all of you. I request you to have faith and give us one more chance.
So to add to your paper mill question, I want to say it very strongly that during my tenure, it was not at all discussed even a single word in any of the meetings. It was not communicated even a single word on any of the WhatsApp group chats. It was never ever communicated in the emails. Because there was a clear-cut lack of intent, there was a clear-cut lack of alignment. I actually have a plan to do a dry run for it, and based upon the feedback from the student and thereafter getting necessary notes from the faculty, I am sure I will be implementing it.
Setting up TVs in the dining halls to increase student activities in mess.
Yeah.
So, wait, in a family, if we are switching on the TV, हम अपने आप में लड़ते हैं कि नहीं ये लगेगा नहीं ये लगेगा, and in the environment like this, जहाँ DJ nights में भी हिंदी तेलुगु होता है, उसमें आप उस environment में आप कैसे इंश्योर करेंगे कि उस टीवी में क्या लगेगा?
TV is not just to have a digital telecasting or dish TVs or whatever it is which happens in your homes. In homes we just regularly have set-top boxes and stuff where we quarrel between channels. Right now there are a lot of TVs already set up on the campus. You can just find one outside the A block. Did you ever find it fighting for that? No, right? Because there will be like club activities, even like nobody fighted for IPL in front of OIT.
And coming to one more point, what about budget?
Because it's already a part of the infrastructure of the college. If we find 2 TVs in the old dining hall, it is actually a plan. There was no incentive from the authority side, so I'd like to get that incentive out.
Many of you observed that this year our so-called secular Messeki doing regionalism and providing special dinner only on South Indian State New Year. So, me as a Marathi, I am expecting this to be happen on Gudi Padwa. Nothing is there. Messeki is also not there. So, what's your opinion on this? How will you manage all these things? Regionalism, secularism.
I'm very secular as a person. My agenda does have the point of inclusivity, which I said, I want everyone to feel like they're at home. So for sure, if I am suggesting any menu after consulting through a nutritionist, definitely in a week or maybe once or twice in a week, we are going to have something which will show that there is inclusivity into the menu. And please, I will be generously try to add on something so that everyone feels inclusive. And for sure, for the festivities, we do have arrangements right now for fast also. So for sure, we can do something about it. We can edit on 1 or 2 dishes, but traditional dish for a specific festival can be added. It's a possibility. I might have to fight, I might have to work hard for it, but for sure I'll bring it for you all.
Hello. My question is to Mr. Abhay. So you have included in an agenda that you have that special subscription for gym, diet plan, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Could you tell me that how much protein is required by the body of a sportsman?
I have already mentioned it. I would like to consult with the students before finalizing the deal. I'm not a gym person and sports person. I'm a sports person, but I'm not a gym person to actually address you. To not include my personal interest into it, I actually plan to take the opinion of the students before.
Okay, so let me tell you, it takes about 10 to 20,000 rupees to induce enough protein for a sportsman, a proper sportsman. How are you planning to induce that in a budget?
Okay, to counter this, there are already a certain students availing extra eggs. They are not paying 20,000 for it. They'll actually spend a part of their money on it. And I have not included the company. I
am going to the gym since 4 years. Eggs are not the only thing you eat. You have to take protein, supplements, drinking, L-carnitine bargaining all the BEEE, all the stuff, that will cost you a lot of money. Not only eggs can help you. Okay.
What I said is that the common item comes.
Guys, only 2 questions will be taken.
Hi Kaushal, my question to you. Like you have mentioned the inclusion of biometric for marking attendance. So according to my knowledge, biometric has a valuable information in India. There can be many things that can be done with the individual's biometric, and you are using it to mark an attendance. Like if I am not wrong, that will be given to a third-party vendor. Don't you think that this will raise any privacy
So I
concerns?
request you to please go through the mesh tender. The mesh tender clearly states that the software required to mark presence in the mesh, they will be supplied by the IIT. Only the equipment they need to be procured by the tenderer or by the caterer. So all of your information is secure with IIT Hyderabad.
But the they can misuse of it. There is a privacy concern.
They already have our Aadhaar cards, our bank accounts, our PAN card, but they don't.
If I am not wrong, biometric has much value in India.
Yes, it is there. We already have biometrics for marking attendance by professor. We already have biometrics for marking attendance by staff from our community. So this is all.
So my question is for Kaushal. So you said it loudly that you will start the dry run, but the thing is, do you know the legalities involved in paper mill and why it is not implemented in the campus till now? Because I see there were many mess secretaries who wanted to try the same. So do you know the legalities behind it?
Yes, that is why I am saying that all of what is mentioned in the mesh tender is flexible upon the consultation of MMC. The period which I am choosing for the dry run, which is very critical, it is a 3-month long holiday where very few students from the campus are there. So it will not affect the already existing economics, the fees that which we have paid. The other thing is one of the messes will be completely shut because of the less number of students. So we can actually utilize one of the dining halls which is operating low on cost. So we can use these things to dry run it. I'm not saying we are going to implement it. I'm saying we are going to dry run it. We are going to get the information onto the logistics and the expenses of it.
This is not my question. I am asking for the legalities. Have you consulted to any of the HCU chair or my assistant chair or any of the administration, be it John sir?
Could you elaborate more on the legalities you're talking about?
It is not in the tender document.
So as far as I know, there are a few legalities like when we register for this institute, we need to sign on to a document which says that we need to eat in the mess. So all of those things, they are negotiable. Could you please elaborate me and then only I will be able to answer.
Just completed. So time for the process.
So my question is to Geshna first. Geshna is mentioned in his agenda that she will be having special menus and special food for people who have gen specific, veg specific, gluten free and other such things. In my experience of 2 years, these things have already been discussed multiple times in the mess council. There are operational difficulties, there are practical difficulties, there is student backlash, there is faculty non-involvement and non-responsive in this. So in lieu of all of this, how are you actually going to implement this, or is it just a bluff that you are planning on us?
I think you don't know, but we have separate section for trans also. So it is there for sure. But currently we don't have any option. So yeah, these options are already there. But inclusivity means having another, non-veg curry. It's not about just having a biryani on a Sunday. What about something like, some other non-veg curry which is not there? This can be from Maharashtra, this can be from Northeast. So what I want to say is inclusivity. And could be with a vegetarian food also. Why only paneer? Why only paneer? Vegetarians have.
So when you say veg only, when you say Jain only, when you say veg only, or when you say gluten free, it's not about inclusivity. It's about a proper dietary restriction or a proper dietary relaxation that comes with it. So saying that I will simply add one Jain item is not what Jains want. When we say veg only, it is a whole different thing.
Valid because my point is very different. I was talking about inclusivity. Adding, currently we have very bland food which is there for Jain community. Only paneer is there, only dal is there. I'm saying why not putting more items into that, into a particular wheat vegetarian? Why only paneer? How is it? See, you just need to change Shahi paneer to Matar paneer. Why is it not happening so far? And I want to do that. That's why I'm saying I want to bring inclusivity. That's what I meant when I said, inclusivity, but into the non-veg food, vegetarian food, Jain food, and there are special dietary recommendations for people who are lactose intolerant, who cannot have gluten or are very health conscious. So I want to work from them also. That was my only point.
So my next question is to Abhay. You mentioned in your agenda that you will be meeting every single member of MMC on a regular basis, asking him for feedback. Is that practically possible, or where have you got this inspiration from? Because I have never seen even 40% of the MMC team attending a single meet. It requires a whole lot of effort to even gather the whole team just for a single visit. So how are you actually going to meet each and every person on a regular basis?
So you might not have understood the word individually, which I plan on having it during separate times based on the convenience of the student, and I don't plan on having excess number of students who are not manageable. As I've already mentioned, regular revisions of Team MMC. For that, I actually need to implement this one-on-one session so that we actually know who's working, who's not working.
Okay, my question is to you. Actually, I'll add on to this point. See, we already have a WhatsApp group where all the MMC members can communicate to each other. They can provide feedback to each other. Why do you want to then have separate time for that? Why do you want to waste time in, arranging a meeting and talking to them, which is not at all required? Other than that, that time, why don't you take feedbacks from students? Why don't you take feedbacks from PhD scholars? Why only taking feedbacks from MMC? Sorry, having meetings and coordinating, about the food with parents.
Okay, as I mentioned, mess secretary will be actually a sole authority on deciding the team, right? So when there is this issue, he will be personally appointing with the guidance of the previously experienced members. But the mess secretary knows the best about the student. A student might work well but not be open to the public. He might be responding to them in person. He might be better on with a one-on-one conversation. I believe there are a lot of introverts in this campus too, and it's actually beneficial for them to have a one-on-one session. This is just for your follow-up.
I think introverts will be more happy to revert on WhatsApp other than meeting in person if we're talking about introverts. So then again my question comes that why would you like to waste your time like that?
As you mentioned, you asked particularly that why not post it in the group. This reply is for that part, and they might not even reply in chats for this. The other individual system is to have a personal one-on-one conversation. This is just for that you mentioned, right? They would just put it in the group. This is just for that part, introvert part.
already have paneer on Wednesdays, we already have egg on Wednesday, we already have chicken biryani on Sunday. How will you manage the budget firstly? And why are you only thinking about non-vegetarians? Why are you not including everyone? So many different sources of protein-rich food from, being a vegetarian, I'm giving my point of view. Why only chicken?
So this is from the feedback that I have got from the people that this is what they want. So as I already mentioned that managing the dynamics of economics is already a little tricky, and I have made I have already explained how I am going to manage it. Also, I will try my best to get subsidy into our institute and further inclusions in the dish that can be leveraged upon the subsidy that we will get from the director.
I think you're just brushing off my questions. You haven't answered me. Please don't give wrong hopes and dreams to the people. Be practical and tell me how to do it.
I have already explained in detail how am I going to implement it. I have talked with the caterer and a few senior MMC members. Also, I have talked with the people from other institutes that there are subsidies in their institute. If the other central government institute can have subsidy, why cannot we as a student community wish to our institute to have subsidy so that we can have better meals in our campus?
Keeping aside the word of applause, you actually specifically said that the previous mess secretaries haven't coordinated or talked about this paper day meal with their team, right? So regarding that, actually, I've actually talked with both of the mess secretaries. In just be practical about that, because the thing is, when they went this is a question. When they went to the caterers on just for a rough quote of how much it would cost for a student if he want to pay per day without no registered students to him to have annual income, they quoted 380. You plan on having this implemented on a dry run on the intern students and students who come on from outside, right? In general, they pay 210 per day to have a meal there, and you plan on implementing this 380 per day on them.
So just for your information, just a few minutes ago, Mr. Bajesh Kodi said that implementing a paper meal it costs about 200 rupees, not 380 rupees. So me, I am not bluffing. What I said earlier is that it was not discussed in any single meeting within the MMC team. So that was my point over there.
To have a follow-up on that, the quote of 200 is actually for the students. After 2000 students are registered for a mess paying 130 per month, the caterer decided on the price of 200. I have actually talked to the caterer, not mess secretaries, regarding the price. They said they'll be at least charging 380. How do you plan on convincing the caterers that there'll be no registered student for that month? You just have to be lucky, like how much, even a month is a cost, like, right, 2000 into 130 is the cost, how much we are paying to the, like new bake, right? I just want
to. My senior suggested to improvise on the same bakery that we already have, or I can bring, the same bakery can actually get good brands and collaborate with them. So that can be done, and I would take his advice that instead of bringing something new, we should work towards what we have already and then improvise the quality. If it does not happen that way, the way I have planned, of course we can revise the tender after a year, and then we can have a better option in our hands.
Regarding this bakery thing, you stated Theobroma in particular, right? Could you see the students are already recommending to lessen the prices, And the current bakery pays prices like based on the regulations of the general secretary, and they accepted to the price to provide the quality. I don't question the quality, but Theochroma actually had higher prices, right? How do you counter that? By improving the present bakery, how do you counter the price?
So current bakery is also on agreement basis. So if we need to decrease the prices, if the only way is to give tenders, and I'm pretty sure KS Bakeries and Karachi Bakery will die to come to ITH, seeing 4,000. The strength of the student is 4,000. So for sure they will be ready to come and serve us.
Okay, thank you. Vote for Rafi. Start from the.
So, hello all. Once again, I will tell my name is Kaushal. So, my request to you is that I have been a part of MMC for 2 years, and I keep repeating it. I have seen everything. Why our teams don't function, why some plans are not executed, why student feedback is not taken with seriousness. So, with that experience and my commitment to do work for the mess council, I request you to please vote for the deserving candidate and not for the candidate who has just gotten into MMC just 7 days before the.
Dear IIT family, firstly, let's go to Kaushal's point. He says about his experience everywhere. I'm a master's student firstly. I did my graduation and I have an industrial experience of 6 years. I have when someone that senior comes, it has a very unique approach, very unique understanding of catering such a huge system that we have. Food does not include just mess. It has a huge mess secretary will have a huge responsibility of food court, dry canteen, chai amrut, and including Dominoes, including all the both messes. It's a huge responsibility. You need a calm, composed, and a very strong leader, not an aggressive leader who does not.
Everyone is doing it. The way that you are doing not good. Be ready for the consequences. Be ready. Be ready. Be ready. Be ready.
Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. So, guys, I request you all to, if you really want an experienced person, I'm the best person here. If you really want a strong leader, I am here. If you really want someone to listen and hear to you, in person, who's always there, I am here. So please do vote for me.
Hi guys, I'm Abhay.
Now record.
This is actually an honor to stand here to contest for a mess secretary position. You talked about the few points.
Make video.
You need a capability to listen to the students, to understand the problems of the the student and to act upon the problems of the student, not getting against everyone training.
So guys, we have